Welcome to this new Conceptsys Document Control Tip of the Month. This month, we discuss the use of initials in the workplace. Using initials is common in professional settings. For example, for signing documents or indicating who is the author of a document. But even though it's common practice, there may be risks and drawbacks attached to it. So it's essential to implement best practices in order to maintain clarity, auditability, and traceability. Maybe you're thinking, what kind of risks and drawbacks could there be? Well, for example, how do you avoid legal ambiguity? When you authorize something with just your initials, it can create legal ambiguity. If there is a dispute or challenge later, it might be difficult to prove who actually signed a document. In some cases, signing with initials alone may lead to confusion about who is responsible for specific actions or decisions, as it's harder to establish a direct connection to the signatory. Another risk comes from misinterpretation. People might confuse similar initials, especially if multiple individuals have identical initials. Fraud and forgery are also made easier if you are using initials, as it is more challenging to copy a full signature, including its unique characteristics, compared to initials. Initials could also give the perception of a lack of professionalism. In many professional settings, using only initials may be considered unprofessional, especially in formal documents or correspondence. It may not convey the level of seriousness and commitment expected. So to tackle these potential issues, we have gathered here 5 best practices when it comes to using initials in the workplace. Number 1, use full names. One of the best ways to avoid the challenges created by using initials is to simply not use initials. It can, for example, be a rule in the workplace that initials are to be avoided and that full names shall be favored instead, especially when it comes to signing or authorizing documents, correspondence, and decisions. Best practice number 2, maintain an initials register. If your company wishes to be able to use initials but still maintain accountability and traceability, then keeping an initials register is a must. This could be maintained by the HR department, for example, or by the document control group. Each employee or member of staff is allocated a unique set of initials, and that uniqueness remains even after an employee leaves the company. That way, if we find 10 years from now a document signed by a certain MGA, it will be easy to know who the signatory was just by looking at the initials register, even if that person does not work in the company anymore. An initials register is a document or database used in a professional context to keep track of and verify the identities of individuals when using their initials in place of their full names. The purpose of an initials register is to maintain clarity, auditability, and traceability, as well as to avoid confusion regarding the identity of the individuals involved. If you feel that you are getting value out of this video, consider liking it and subscribing to our channel. And now let's move to best practice number 3. Establish a style guide. If your company allows the use of initials, then make sure that there are rules in place to maintain consistency. For example, some companies are using a 2-letter system. In this case, John Doe would have JD as initials, while other companies use a 3-letter system, for example with the first letter of the first name and the 2 first letters of the last name. In this case, John Doe would have JDO as initials. There is no right or wrong, as long as it is clear, documented, consistent, and in conjunction with the initials register we mentioned in our tip number 2. Tip number 4, be mindful of cultural differences. The use of initials may vary across different cultures. Be mindful of these differences in your workplace and make sure that there are clear guidelines in place in order to obtain consistency. Best practice number 5, train employees. When onboarding new employees, provide guidelines and training on using and interpreting initials within the organization. It's also important to include regular refresher training for existing employees. We'd love to hear from you. Do you currently use initials in the workplace? Write initials in the comment section. If you are more on team full name than on team initials, then write full name in the comments. If you wish to know more about document control and improve your skills in and around document control, join us in one of our courses, which allow to develop your skills and get your career on the right track. We have different courses, each one designed to accompany you throughout your career in document control. You can find the link in the description below. We regularly release new content on document control. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and to hit the notification bell to be notified of any useful new content.